Hi Flosstube, this is Charlene from the Briar Patch. I'm sorry I didn't post last Friday, but I do have a quick small story for you today, which happened on Friday, where my sister came into the room telling me that I should probably check everything I have in my filing cabinet because she discovered a bunch of bugs that were originally in a 50-pound bag of chicken feed that had crawled across the room and started crawling up my filing cabinet, which apparently they had already, despite the fact that this was not happening the day before, they had already crawled up the first two bottom drawers. And mind you, this bag of feed was across, like I said, across the room. They had crawled from one side of the room around the side, not across, not like straight through the room. They went around the room to almost the other side of the room onto my filing cabinet. Now, come to find out later, these really small bugs, where they're really tiny. I'm hoping that I can sync up some pictures. Yeah, I'm still working on how to do that, but I'm hoping to sync up some pictures for you. But they're really tiny white bugs. They're called, grain mites, that were coming out of this bag. And so I and one of my other sisters rushed in there and started taking out all the irreplaceable items, because I'm a genealogist, like letters and things like that, out of the top two drawers, while my first sister I mentioned starts cleaning up. And we go through and we were able to rescue everything. Fortunately, we didn't see any mites anywhere, but we did put the special things in little Ziploc baggies in the freezer for a couple of days, about 48 hours or so, maybe a little longer. And any photographs we found, we took a dry rag and just dusted them off. You don't want to put them in the freezer because heat and cold are really bad for photographs. But we put the photographs in a baggie anyway, and then after we did that, we took the rest of the paperwork and stuff that I have in there and put them in white kitchen trash bags, and then put those bags in a bin for holding until we could put those papers in the freezer, just in case we missed a couple of mites. We wanted to make sure that we didn't accidentally spread those mites around, because those grain mites are very close to book lice. Book lice like the glue in books, and so do the grain mites. And they're very close together, as you can imagine. Like, you can use rice to make paper, so understandably, grain mites and book lice are very close. So had we not discovered it soon enough, we could have accidentally transferred some of those mites into where we keep our books, and they could have destroyed all our books, and that would have been devastating. But fortunately, my sister found them, and she was able to clean up all the bugs, and my other sister and I were able to rescue the contents of my filing cabinet. We ended up having to get rid of the chicken feed that had the mites in them, and then also one more bag that was with that bag, and someone had to go buy more feed for the chickens, so emergency chicken feed grocery run. But that's why I didn't post not yesterday, but Friday, because I was spending the day frantically going through papers, bagging it, putting them in the freezer, dusting off pictures, and fighting back a horde of hundreds and hundreds of little white grain mites. But fortunately, all the things were taken care of and cleaned. Chickens have feed and everything turned out to be okay. So, yay! Anyway, Flosstube, I would like to end on a happy high note. So, I decided to show you 2 cross-stitch kits that I have in my stash. The first one here is called Rooster by Violas. It's a counted cross-stitch. Its finished picture will be 11 3/4 inches by 15 3/4 inches. It's 14 count Aida. That's actually tan and is stitched with anchor floss. And you can buy this on Amazon. I also like this little picture here. Rails has a few cross-stitch patterns with this kind of building in it. I think my favorite part are actually the windows and the building. It has actual shutters on it and stuff. Anyway. This one, that's like I said before. This is called Rooster. As you saw in the beginning, it has a companion piece called Hen. But also, obviously by Violas, it is counted cross stitch. This one will be 11 3/4 inches by 11 3/4 inches once complete. It's also stitched on 14 count Aida. As you can tell by the picture, it is tan, either beige or tan. I'm not really sure. I think the website said it was beige. And then it's also stitched with anchor floss. And I like both of them. This one is, I think, a little more colorful around the hen, and then the rooster itself is more colorful. I like both of them, but I think I might stitch this one first. I'm not sure. Which one do you think I should stitch first, guys? The hen with the baby chicks, or the rooster? I'm not sure. Equally pretty, and I'm sure equally hard to do. I don't think one would be more difficult than the other to stitch. Both are going to be really fun to do. You have these little chicks here and the bright flowers, and then you have the rooster has bright plumage with some flowers around him here. I think this might even be some shadowing right there, like the underside of the feathers from the other side. That would be fun to do. Anyway, I just want to show you 2 quick cross stitch kits from my stash, and wanted to ask you which one I should stitch first. Well, see you guys in the next video. You guys take good care of yourselves, okay?